Hello, hello. So today I want to talk about this one shift, this one philosophy or concept that if you use it in your life, it can change everything. However, it's simple, but it's also like something that has to be done each moment because things kind of get wonky. So what it is this concept of be, do, have. That's what we want to go to. Be, do, have. And what that means is that you are being or feeling a certain way, which has you doing things differently than you normally would. And then you have the things, that you need or whatever. Now, the way that we normally live, the way that we're kind of programmed to be, the way that I thought it was, a while back. And this part I get confused on. I don't know the exact words, but we'll go through both of them. I'm going to do the one that I think is right first, which is do, have, be. So that one is like, you go and do all these things, right? So you can have, money, success, love, whatever. You go and so you do the things so that you have something so that you can be happy, successful, loved. Or you have to have certain things before you can do something so that you feel a certain way. So those last two are pretty much how, most people are doing things. Like, I have to go get this job so that I make money, so that I am successful and happy and safe and secure, right? So the shift is feeling that feeling that you want, the safety, the love, the success, the abundance, feeling that right here and right now. And then when you're in that state, like if you feel like joy and love all the time, the way you show up in the world is going to be different than, I feel anxiety right now, I feel fear, I need to go out and do something so that I feel more secure. So how to shift is to really look at how are you being, how are you feeling in any given moment. So if you are consumed with anxiety, worry, fear, lack, even if you are expressing something different out to the world, like you put a smile on your face even though you feel all frazzled inside, how you're being, like the energy doesn't lie. Like the universe can tell that you're anxious inside even though other humans may not be able to. So how are you being in any given moment? And if you are being worried and anxious and scared and feeling like, oh, I have no security, like uncertain, if that's how you are feeling most of the time, that is what you get more back. And even if you go and do the things, like you go to work to get the money, you get the money, then you have that security, you still feel, you might feel like, yay, I did it for a little while, but you still have that feeling inside of you. So the key is to change that feeling, to give yourself the love, the security, the safety in each moment, and then do the thing from a place of joy and love and abundance, like these ideas come and they're non-stop. So it's like I am abundant with that. And so really sharing that from a place of love and joy, because it's exciting for me. So you start with the feeling, like you feel the love, you feel the joy, and you give that to yourself. And then when you're doing it, you're still feeling that. And then whenever you have the things, you still feel that, because that's your like state of being. And I learned this concept probably about a year and a half ago in these words. But it's interesting because before that, I'd be walking out in my yard, you know, in a spiral, an overthinking, like compulsive kind of way. And what I would say to myself, this was my mantra, and it still comes in very, very handy, is who am I and what am I doing? So who am I being and what am I doing? And that would like stop that loop, because who I was being was like somebody who was really worried, somebody who was really scared. And it's like, do I actually want to be that? Or can I give myself security and safety and love right here, right now? And then what am I doing? Well, I'm doing all this crazy stuff, looking for this, looking for that, and trying to figure that out. And it would kind of check me into like, well, what do I want to be doing? You know, like what will actually support my energy right now instead of drain it. So who am I? What am I doing? Who am I being right now? And then this is where it gets kind of tricky though, because if you are in a constant state of anxiety or fear or lack, it can be difficult to go to joy and love and security. So I just want to give one quick example of security. And this I think happens a lot, you know, something unexpected, a bill, or, you know, money is tight or whatever, and then something pops up and then you feel like that ground fall, your stomach drops. Whenever that happens, it's a state of lack, and it makes you feel uncertain, insecure, unsuccessful maybe. So whenever that happens, what I do is I focus on security in different ways. Like, I'm securely sitting right now in this car. I'm being held by the car that's being held by the earth. And in this moment, I am safe and I am secure. And really, like, just feeling that. You know, there's a lot of faith that comes in with this too. Knowing that, you know, you will be provided for, you will have everything that you need, and just believing that, even though the external may not look that way, especially with the thought train of worries, and you're like, oh my gosh, then this is going to happen and that's going to happen. You got to bring it back to this moment, and in this moment, do you have everything that you need? In this moment, are you safe? In this moment, are you securely standing on the ground or sitting where you're sitting, you know, with a roof over your head, or like whatever things that you are secure about, like start to bring your focus to that instead of what you don't have. And it's the same with any of them. With love, like if you feel like you're not being loved by a certain person, you know, well, where is love in your life? You know, you can find love everywhere. You can pretend that the flowers are blooming for you, because they are. But, you know, like the sun came up, like that's love, you know? So focusing on what you do have whenever you find yourself spiraling, and being grateful for that, and that changes your state of being. And from there, do something. What do you want to do? What lights you up? You know, what is that thing that keeps tinging in your head that you need to reach out to this person or say this or do that? Go do that. You know, maybe it's doing a yoga class, maybe it's doing a painting class, maybe it's, you know, making a phone call to an old friend. Like, we don't know how these things that it's like I'm being told to do it, you know? I've been making this video off for like a week now, and it's still a little hairy. this concept is kind of difficult for me to explain, but I'm doing it from a place of love and not fear. Like, and that's the thing. You have this love and joy that you are, and then you do things, and then things start magically happening. And that is, it's not magic, it's because you did the things from a place of love. Now, and also, if you think about it, like, let's say you go to work, right? And you woke up and you're all like anxious and scared and, you know, kind of sad. You know, those days where you're like, ah. So you go to work and you do your work. And then, you know, compare that to a day where you wake up and you're like super excited and happy. Like, maybe there's a special trip you're going to for work, or it's like gonna be a fun work day or whatever, and you're looking forward to it. So you show up and you're like full of love and joy. Those 2 days go differently. You know, your output is different. If you were to show up every day in that state of love, like, it makes sense that you might get more money, promotions looked at, you know, the attention, because it's because of your energy. It's because of how you are being. And not only that, it's like, isn't that the goal? Like, we all want to feel successful. We want to feel loved. We want to feel worthy. We want to feel secure and safe. Like, that's why we go to work and do the things that we're doing, is so that we can feel that way. So what I'm saying is that you can feel that way right now. And that's the trick. That's the whole, like, cheat code, is learning how to give yourself those feelings, how to allow yourself to have those feelings, even though you may not have that number in your bank account yet, or that love that you want, or the success, or the attention, or the fame, or whatever it is. But you can feel that now, and then that attracts in what will actually make it look like that externally. But the whole thing is, that's what we want to begin with, is to feel that way, to be that way. And the trick is too, is like, even if you do all the things from a place of lack and anxiety and depression or whatever, even if you get that thing, you might feel it for a very brief moment, but then it goes away, and then you need the next thing. You're always chasing that, because it's not internal. It's not inside of you. It's not who you are. So becoming that first. It sounds a little backwards, because, I mean, how am I to feel successful whenever I have $0 in my bank account, right? I'm just saying, try it and see, because it shifts everything. You move through the world different, you feel better, and that's what we all want. We don't really want the money. We want to be able to go do what we want to do. Why? So that we can feel good, happy, adventure, like freedom. And you can feel that right now, regardless of your circumstances. And then things start, ideas might come, ideas will come, and then you act on those from that place of love and freedom and success. And then other things start, you get to have them. And that's how it actually should be. So that's my little tip for today. Bye.